Welcome back. There are no actual figures of the number of Nigerians in the diaspora, but the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs estimates that as of June last year, there were 1.7 million Nigerians in diaspora. Whatever the number, it presupposes that diaspora remittances would be really high. Let's hear more from my colleague, Ijoma Onyato, in her interview with the chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Mrs. Abike Dabiri Erewa, in London, a couple of weeks after the Diaspora Day celebrations.
Talking about the commission now, I mean, it's a fairly young commission.
2 years.
2 years, and there's been quite a bit. What are some of the strengths that you would say that you've been able to achieve in the last 2 years, let me say?
Well, I think first thing is putting the diaspora issues on the front burner. Even reaching out to the diaspora, to the Nigerians in diaspora, and there's a whole lot of that to do. Because I still realize that a lot of Nigerians in diaspora are not even aware of the commission. They don't even have anything to do with the Nigerian missions and all that. So, and it's important to reach out. So we're trying to find every way to reach out to Nigerians abroad. And when we've been able to do that, you realize that they actually have a passion. There are a lot of things they want to do, but they don't know how or who to talk to. So we're saying, now you have a commission. Talk to us. Let's work with you. And they're all over the world. So first thing is putting diaspora issues on the front burner. And then we have a diaspora policy, a holistic diaspora policy, which has just been ratified by the Federal Executive Council under President Muhammadu Buhari. So that will guide our diaspora engagement, and virtually every MDA has a role to play. We have some programs for the diaspora. There's the Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit, which takes place November 16, 17 this year. Last year was by webinar. So this year it's going to be a hybrid, and there'll be a lot of activities. And diasporas are coming in. A lot of them are showing interest in healthcare, education, ICT, agriculture, and the food business.
So how do you plan to coordinate it all? Because some of the feedback that you get from Nigerians in diaspora, those doing well, who hear about the commission for the first time, is there a targeted approach to how you're going to coordinate it?
I'll just say an integrated approach. We use all means. Nigerians they already know about the commission that are there, our website. We're developing an app that will be available to every Nigerian in the diaspora. You can download the app and you can get a whole lot of information, of course, working with our missions. Now, we have diaspora groups, but I believe that a lot of those groups and associations need to do more to reach out to Nigerians in the various territories. And then we've created a portal, a data portal for Nigerians in the diaspora, and I will keep encouraging them to go to the portal and just register your presence, and let's see what we can do together. So it's a lot of work, but we're up to the task, and it's just beginning.
Some of the people I've spoken to, I mean, since I began to look out for these Nigerians in diaspora as well, yes, I directed them to the portal, and some of them had privacy concerns. What are they going to do with the data, for instance, with all this data protection?
No, you say everybody you guard your data, but we're just saying, let's know who you are, where you are, what you're doing. For instance, one gentleman who got in touch with us needed to do something in, I think, River State, and we're able to put him through. So it's about what are you doing? How can we help you? So it's really, we don't need anything with anybody's data. It's information. With data, you can plan better. I'll tell you something. During COVID, the need for data was even more evident. For instance, you want to plan to return people. You're not even aware that you have that many people there. So data is key to anybody, but your data is secured with our portal. That's why it's a portal. And if you don't want to do that, then you can communicate with us.
Now, speaking about coming back home to invest, looking at the World Bank's report on diaspora remittances, I know that also came up when you celebrated National Diaspora Day, and the remittances are down at an old, well, let me not say an old
but that's to be expected due to COVID.
That's the thing, but some countries like Ghana, Zambia.
I don't know about Ghana. I know that some countries had an increase, but it depends on how it impacted you. So already there was a projection of at least 20%. I'm on a site with the World Bank, Swiss government, and all. So that projection was already there. So that, but even beyond,
so you don't think it's anything to do with the fact that people are not hearing good news?
No, two things. No, two things. Maybe we still need to do more about encouraging formal remittances. Maybe the informal ones are even more now. Maybe.
What's the difference?
But here's the thing. No, you see, the informal, you don't record it. You're not going to know. So I'm in England now. I'm going home. You give me $2,000, give my auntie. It's not recorded. But you see, the taxes on remittances still needs to go down. Our part of the world still has the largest amount of levies, almost 9%. Whereas in other countries that you mentioned, it's 3%. So why should I pay 9%? Because I want to send you money when I can send you without paying anything. So that has to go down. We have to work at that. So CBN has come with a 5 naira to $1 policy, but we still need to reduce the levies on remittances.
So
but you see, for
think
me,
that if we're able to desegregate the formal from the informal, then
if we're able to encourage the informal more,
okay,
to make it formal. So I hope the CBN policies will encourage, not discourage. But you see, we keep talking about remittances. Remittances go to running your day-to-day activity. Okay, my mother is ill, take care of your health, send these kids, my brothers to school and all that. But what about investments? What is going into investment? So that shows that the diaspora is an economic factor because the money has an impact on the economy.
I spoke to a nurse who's pretty high up in the NHS, and she had said, that she would really had even begun the process of seeing what she can do to come back home, work with 1 or 2 charities here and there, and she became frustrated with the bureaucracy. Then
exactly. Direct her to us. Tell her there's a commission for her now. So if she, and then we still need to do more to communicate. But there's a whole lot of Nigerians abroad out there, but they are beginning to know. So that kind of lady, let her reach us.
So I was listening to the DG of the WTO, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, and she was responding to some of the mails and complaints people have of not being able to reach the right MDA or ministry. And she talked about having a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
Are you going to work on that?
Absolutely.
And how?
You see, the one-stop shop we are working on now is basically digital. It doesn't matter where you are. It's about what you can do from anywhere. So we're trying to have a digital. And also we also need to have, of course, a physical structure. You know,
thinking of a diaspora office in
diaspora. Well, we are supposed to have offices, but the funding is not there. But we're hoping that by next year we'll have maybe at least 2 in the UK, in the US. So we will have continental offices in the diaspora. So we're starting with maybe 1 or 2, and all that. And then have a diaspora house. But in the meantime, let's go digital. Anything you want, you get online, and then communicate with us.
So registration in the database should be the first
yes, it's part of it. And then take the Diaspora Day, for instance. I'm sure you didn't know that it's been on for about 15 years.
I had no idea.
It's been on for 15 years, but now you have a commission on board, and we've made it bigger. And a lot of people will say, wow. So I'm sure by next year it's going to even be bigger and better.
Well, I can't have you in the chair without talking about diaspora voting.
Because
one of the people I spoke to said he was very frustrated. He came, he wanted to participate in politics. He tried physically and it didn't work out. And so he thought, if you want me to be part of you, I should be able to vote from wherever I am in the world.
Yeah,
and they're not happy with the progress of
Well, I'm not happy either. But I hope that with the work we're doing with the National Assembly, and what we're telling the National Assembly is this: it's not the National Assembly that will conduct voting. We're saying that now you're amending the Constitution. Just make it possible for INEC to be able to conduct diaspora voting when INEC is sure that the infrastructure is there. You see, it's INEC that will decide, okay, I want to do London. I want to do this particular country. I want to do this category of people. So we're appealing to National Assembly, and I appeal again, that just make it possible.
There's so many directions we could take this, but thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And hopefully the commission will be better known and accounted for in the lives of the Nigerians who are out there doing well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah.